I'm starting to wonder, watching, the time that Celtic are taking. What have they spent? 3 million so far?
3 million. Yeah. 3 million quid.
So the fans just aren't going to accept that. That can't be the net summer spend, right? So that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
But you do look at, and it's an argument that you and I have had before. I'm wondering if the Celtic strategy is changing on the basis that he was given a lot of money at the end of last window, and in an ideal world, I don't think Adam Ida would be leading Celtic's attack. Trusty's having to sit on the bench, and now Engels can't get into the team. So
no, but I would counter that saying that it wasn't Rodgers that spent that money. The money got to that point because Celtic were malfunctioning in the market. Because Adam Ida wasn't a £9 million player in the January. It wasn't a £9 million player in the summer either. They ended up that way because of Celtic's dithering and kind of failure to get a buy-in clause. And I don't think it's ever seen as a first choice player for Rodgers anyway. It doesn't actually suit Rodgers' plan A as such. The high pressing, high intensity. He's a good plan B player for Brendan Rodgers. I think that's what he always will be. Yeah, so it's not Rodgers. People say, "Oh, he spent 30 million quid in 3 players last year." Yeah, that wasn't his fault. I mean, the Engels deal. I mean, it went up and up and up and up, and the longer it went on, the higher it got. He had to spend the money. That's not Brendan Rodgers' fault.
Mm-hmm.
If he said 2 weeks earlier, "I quite like that guy," I'd like, "I'm for 5 million quid," then yeah, fine. But the cost inflated, so it wasn't his fault. So I don't think the board can say, "Well, you spent £27 million in A3 last year, and they weren't that great. They didn't really set the place on fire, so you're not getting that money this year." That's bonkers, because it wasn't his fault to spend that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very short-sighted. And all that stuff about his contract is a bit of red herring as well. They certainly need players for now, regardless of who the manager will be no matter what. Because, managers, let's be honest, they come and go and teams remain. I said that the team this now is still pretty much the team that was built under Ange Postecoglou. So the manager who's in charge shouldn't really come into it when it comes to signing players. So no, I don't get it. I just think it's just the way that Celtic do business. I think it has to be a bit leaner, a bit quicker on their feet, a bit more. I'm not saying you take massive risks, but they're risking more now by not doing it. Because they're going to this Champions League qualifier, which they should win, by the way, regardless of who they bring in. But there's no guarantees because it's August. Look at likes of kind of Almaty or midway through their season. It's about 100 million miles away from here. There's like a 14 hour one travelling to get there. So it's fraught with danger. The reason why they've got a good home record. Bratislava, obviously, we've seen them last year and so they beat them heavily, but they're still a hardened European team. So they're dangers in these ties, you know what I mean? And it seems to me they're taking a big risk.
Complacency is the biggest enemy of all at this point.
I don't even think it's complacency either. I think it's just a kind of a way of working the market. I think they're not decisive enough to throw their hat on these players right away. And again, listen. The reason why it's such a well-run club is because they are prudent, they've been sensible. But it gets to a point where it's actually counterproductive. And I think that's kind of where they are. Last year they got away with it because of no qualifier. This year they've got a qualifier and I think they've lucked out a wee bit with the draw. But not if the games go wrong. Because people will right to say, how can a team with 60, 70, 80 million pounds in the bank not be ready for a Champions League qualifier?
Do you think
that's a fair question.
No, absolutely. I'm just going to ask you though, Mike. I don't know. I think you saw the Rangers game yesterday, and I wonder if it's actually starting to come to pass that there's no real significant pressure on Celtic's board to spend big, because they'll be looking across at that going, do you know what, Brendan, you've got enough in your dressing room to deal with this.
Yeah, I think that's a dangerous attitude, because that's the attitude I think a lot of Celtic fans would be driven crazy by, this kind of feeling that just be better than Rangers is enough. Because I don't think that is enough. I think they have to strive for more than that. Listen, they've won the league 13 out of 14 years, and they've won 9 trophies out of 12. I don't think this will be pitchforks outside the ground. But still think they have to strive to be the best they can be. And at the moment, are they the best they can be? I would say they're not, because they're weaker than they were last year, and then even last year they were weaker than they were the year before. So they're not currently the best they can be. And that's what I think that's where the frustration lies for a lot of fans.
Two wingers and a striker, Mick. Is that
Still the
the
same.
very minimal?
Still the same too. Right,
I like that.
I think two wingers. I think if they get two wingers in, I think you might see Dyson Maida go back to the middle again. So I think two wingers on the left